Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to review Winter Fury: The Longest Road VR, a game released back in 2019 by developer Spider Monk Entertainment. It normally retails for $18.99. I did buy this game. I did test the game out on the MetaQuest 3 and HP Reverb G2 on my RTX 5090. Winter Fury: The Longest Road is a World War II themed wave shooter, and it would be one of the best, most fun wave shooters in VR if it had more content. It took me less than 2 hours to complete the game, and I don't think there's a whole lot of replayability here, although you can chase high scores if you want. There's two different game modes: the arcade mode, which is the standard wave shooter, and then the tank commander mode, where you get to actually operate the tank more immersively. So let's talk about Winter Fury: The Longest Road, what I liked and what I didn't like. First of all, Winter Fury: The Longest Road is running on the Unity engine. On my RTX 5090, I was getting a steady 90 frames per second. Big surprise there. I only experienced one bug during my playtime. There's a level where your tank goes on fire and you're supposed to take out the fire with the fire extinguisher. And I had already done this level before, but this time the game got stuck in this part and it didn't want to completely take out the fire out. I'm not sure why, since I had done it before without any issues. Now this is an on-rails shooter, so there really isn't that much locomotion. However, during the tank commander parts of this experience, you can actually operate the tank and drive it. You can move slightly within your room scale and move behind cover and dodge. You can technically play the whole game seated, but it's probably best to play standing or in a swivel chair. As far as the visuals, I'm actually a big fan of the art style here. It's very arcade-like, but it works given the theme of the game. And if you pump up the render scale, the game looks very crisp and clear. And in my opinion, it's one of the better looking games in VR just because it holds true to this arcade style. It has lots of detail in the environment, and it's got this very grand scale, almost theatrical presentation. And I think the sound mix here works really well again with this arcade style. The looks and the sound make you feel like you're in a World War II theater of war. And when you're inside the tank, that's when it feels the most immersive. Like, wow, I'm really inside this arcade game. And when you're using the levers to operate the tank and loading up the shells, that's where the game is at its best, really. And I thoroughly enjoyed the musical soundtrack here. I really think it uplifted the gameplay. Unfortunately, I did find some flaws in the gameplay. The biggest one for me was the hit detection. It felt like it was a bit off. I would basically see the bullet tracers go through the enemies but see no damage taken. It seemed like maybe sometimes there was like a cooldown between when you could hit the enemy again with the bullet. I'm not really sure. And the other big flaw was actually the sniper rifle section. Basically, it zooms in all the way on the scope and then you're kind of aiming with your head. I personally have never liked gaze aiming in VR. It ruins the immersion for me. But despite those criticisms, I was thoroughly enjoying the game until it ended too soon. Like I said, I beat the game in less than 2 hours, and there's really just different missions, but they're really not connected in any real way. So there's no real story or anything like that here. Just different scenarios set in World War II on the Western Front. And instead of Winter Fury: The Longest Road, I think maybe it should have been called Winter Fury: A Long Demo. $18.99 is a bit much for what's here. I just don't really see the value. If I have to rate this game, I would give it a 5.5 out of 10. This should be a $10 game at the very most. But like I said, I actually did have a lot of fun playing this game. It just ends too soon. Anyways, that's my review for Winter Fury: The Longest Road. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of the video.